Mose knows fam, YouTube land, NFL fans everywhere. What's happening? Welcome to the channel. We are back in our team mock draft series. This is where we are taking every team in the NFL, all 32 teams, and we are doing full 7-round mock drafts for each and every one of them. Today is no different. We are in episode 13. We are following the NFL draft order, the first round draft order as that laid out. That is where we are following. So today, pick 13, we are headed to Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Atlanta Falcons do not have a first round pick. That first round pick went to the Los Angeles Rams. We'll be doing the Rams later following the official draft order outside of trades. So we are going to Atlanta today. We will be the GM for the Atlanta Falcons. We'll take a look at some free agent signings. We'll then look at the depth chart, and then we'll jump right into the mock draft. So let's not over talk it. Let's get right into it. Free agent signings, big one right at the top. Tua, 1 year, vet minimum deal. Is he brought in to be a backup? Is he brought in as competition for Michael Penix? The names for fantasy football teams have already started going crazy with both of these guys on the same team. That's going to be absolutely hilarious in the 2026-2027 fantasy football season. But I think we have a competition on our hands. Brand new head coach, Kevin Stefanski. We can talk about his worthiness of being a head coach right after his stint with the Browns. But nevertheless, he is the head coach, so he comes in with his offensive system. And he inherits Michael Penix. He signs Tua Tagovailoa. And I think we have a competition brewing on our hands. Additionally, we don't know if Michael Penix is going to be ready for the start of OTAs and start of training camp. So maybe there's a situation where Tua is the number one by default. And then when Penix comes back and we have a competition, either way, we have two quarterbacks on our roster that have not panned out to their draft status. And so we'll let those two compete. But are either one of these gentlemen quarterback of the future? Are either one of these gentlemen the new face of the franchise? That is yet to be seen, so we will find that out. Additional signings, wide receiver Jahan Dotson. I think he's a perfect option to come in as a number two. Washington didn't use him properly. He was behind A.J. Brown and Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith in Philly. So he was the third option in that offense, potentially for a receiving option, probably fourth if you think of A.J., Devontae, and Dallas Goedert. Then if you throw in Saquon Barkley, his touches were going to be minimal. But I think in this offense, he's the perfect number two wide receiver behind Drake London. And then you have Kyle Pitts in the fold too, who, as you see, received the franchise tag, which will pay him $15.045. Franchise tag is the average annual salary for the top five at his position. And so he's playing on that 1 year franchise tag, hoping to get a long-term deal done. We bring in edge rusher Azeez Ojulari, defensive end Deshaun Hand and Cameron Thomas, linebacker Christian Harris. And then we shore up our our special teams with Nick Folk and Jake Bailey. So let's jump over to the depth chart here. See what we're looking like. As I talked about the quarterbacks, we've got Penix, we've got Tua. So that's our QB competition. We know who our number one running back is. That's Bijan Robinson. We need to look for potentially a new backup running back, as we no longer have Tyler Algier in the fold. We know our number one wideout is Drake London. His number two is Jahan Dotson. We brought back Olamide Zaccheaus. And then we retained Kyle Pitts, brought back Austin Hooper. So our pass catchers are locked down. Offensive line is solid. Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Ryan Newsel, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry. Chris Lindstrom is one of the best guards in the league. Could we find additional options here? Depth, rotation, absolutely. But our offensive line is solid. Moving down to our defense, Brandon Dorless, Deshaun Hand, Samson Ebukam on our line, Jalen Walker, Divine Diablo, J.D. Bertrand, and James Pierce Jr. Our linebackers, again, we brought in Azeez Ojulari and Christian Harris. So we have some options here. Jalen Walker's a stud. James Pierce was a stud. Had some off the field issues this offseason. That was a knock going into the draft. Hopefully he's able to clean those up, get on the right path, and put that behind him. Secondary, solid, one of the best in the league. This team has the right pieces. I think we need the right coaching staff in place. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts, Mike Hughes, Billy Bowman Jr. Listen, I'm so frustrated because I wanted, from my Niners, you see it here, I wanted either Xavier Watts or Billy Bowman. And I know for sure my brother Breezy, shout out to Wayne Breezy. If you're a 49ers fan and you're not following Wayne Breezy, what are you doing? Go over to Wayne Breezy, subscribe to his channel, Nitty Gritty Niners. We'll be back come start a training camp. But I wanted Xavier Watts. And I know Breezy wanted Billy Bowman. And right now, we need a safety. And we could have had him. And the Falcons got both of them. And they both played well as rookies. So again, this defense has pieces. We can look to add pieces. I think that defensive line could use some reinforcements. Maybe that interior linebacker position next to Divine Diablo. And we're limited. Let's go over to the draft board. We are limited. Like I said, we don't have a first-round pick. That first-round pick belongs to the Los Angeles Rams. And so we only have 5 picks. 48, 79, 114, 196, and 231. We only got 5 picks. We got to make these 5 count. So let's not waste time. We're going to jump right into the draft. And look what they give us. Look what they give us. Look what's available. Pieces that we don't need. Brandon Cisse, Chris Johnson. Pieces that we don't need. Chase Basantis, guard. We don't need. Corner, Keith Abney. We don't need. Safety, AJ Halsey. We don't need. We could use edge. Malachi Lawrence is here. Keontae Scott, one of my favorite players in this draft. He's available here. That's a great option. Again, we have a good rotation within our secondary. So Keontae would be a luxury pick for us here. Edge, a need. So defensive line is here. So we could go Malachi Lawrence. 6'4", 250. So he's an option for us to play end. He probably might be more of a stand-up outside linebacker. We already have those guys. He might not fit as well in that 3-4 alignment with his hand in the dirt. Jadarian Price. To me, I think that is a very, very viable option here. Because we could go best player available. We could go Brandon Cisse or Chris Johnson or even Chase Basantis, right? To shore up some of those positions. You know, we have AJ Terrell. We have Mike Hughes. We like Clark Phillips as well. Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts. So if we draft a Brandon Cisse, he's a great player, but where is he going to fit? We get a Chase Basantis. We know he's not supplanting Chris Lindstrom. Does he beat out Matthew Bergeron, or is he just Bergeron's backup? Are we looking towards the future? I don't have a problem with either of that, with either of those options. Cisse, Johnson, or Basantis, the top 3 here. I don't have a problem with either one of those picks here at 48. However, we were a two-back system. Bijan gets the bulk of the carries, but Tyler Algier was a major part of this offense, giving him Bijan a break, allowing us to have a change of pace, go to a different option in the backfield, sometimes running two back sets. And so you lose that juice that Tyler Algier brought. And so I think a way you can replace that is with a young running back on a rookie contract that you get here in the second round. Could you trade back? Absolutely. You could trade back and you can get more picks. We only have 5, so let's see what options we have. Carolina wants to move up. Teams interested. Carolina wants to move up. The Chargers want to move up. Rams, Cardinals, Commanders, Bengals, and Jets. But see, also here's my problem. Minnesota also needs a running back. So if I go back to 51, I'm banking on them not taking Jadarian Price. I could go back to 55 or 51, but I'm banking on the team right behind me where their main need is running back. And the best back on the board right now is Jadarian Price. And so maybe I could get a Mike Washington at pick 79 or pick 114. But you're banking on that being available. I know right here, right now, on the clock at 48, Jadarian Price is here. If he's the best player on my board, I'm going to go get him. So I'm going Jadarian Price here at 48 to replace the loss of Tyler Algier as our backup running back so that Bijan can still be Bijan and get the rest and the breaks throughout the game that he needs to still be explosive in the fourth quarter. Give me Jadarian Price. All right. Back on the clock here, pick 79. Ooh. Grayson Halton, defensive interior. I like that. Romello Height. He would also probably be more of a stand-up outside linebacker, edge rusher, 6'3", 240. But he adds to that rotation that we already have with Jalen Walker and James Pierce. Grayson Halton, I like. 6'2", 292. We could kick him into one of those outside positions in that 3-4. Kyron Crawford is here. Dalen Everett is still on the board at 83. Yeah, I'm going to go Grayson Halton. We need defensive line. We need some help, some reinforcements on that area that I mentioned. So I'm going to go Grayson Halton at 79. On the clock at 114. Wide receiver, they're saying, is a need. I beg to differ. I think we have enough pass catchers here. We have the fastest wide receiver at the combine, Brendan Thompson, here. So we could go get him to inject some speed, possibly add to our return game. He'll probably be gone by 196. So again, a potential to look for a trade back. Who else is here? More edge help. Mikael Kamara, Tyreek Sapp, Brian Parker. We could go here for depth on that offensive line. He actually can play all across the line. He can play tackle. He can play guard. I believe at the Senior Bowl, he also took reps at center. I believe so. I think I'm going to go there. Give me Brian Parker. Help on the offensive line. 2 picks left. Don't need a safety, but Bishop Fitzgerald's a really good option there. We do need a linebacker, so we could go Red Murdoch. And I think that's exactly where I'm going to go. Give me Red Murdoch from Buffalo at linebacker. And just to be safe, Penix is injury prone. Tua has concussion history. There's a situation where both of these quarterbacks could be injured. And then what do we do? Well, if I'm the Atlanta Falcons in the 7th round, pick 231, I have nothing to lose. Nothing at all to lose. Give me Taylor Green, quarterback from Arkansas. Y'all saw the combine. Y'all saw what he did. Y'all saw what Taylor Green did at the combine. Listen, if I'm a 7th round pick 231, pick 231, I'm not risking anything. 7th round pick 231, I bring in QB number 3. That way, if QB1 is injured again and QB2 is injured again, I have a 6'6" quarterback who runs 4.3, 4.4. He has speed. He has arm talent. I'm an offensive coach in Kevin Stefanski. And so this is my opportunity for people who are screaming that I didn't give Shedeur Sanders a fair shot and I didn't try to develop him because I didn't want him. Now I could take somebody like Taylor Green and develop him, and I only spent a 7th round pick on him. To me, that's a no-brainer. That's an easy one. All right, let's run through these. No 1st round pick. Round 2, pick 48, we get Jadarian Price, running back from Notre Dame. That is our Tyler Algier replacement. Round 3, pick 79, we get defensive lineman Grayson Halton from Oklahoma. We add him as depth and rotation on that defensive line in R3-4. Round 4, pick 114, we get tackle Brian Parker II. He can be moved all across the line, so he adds depth and rotation for us there. No 5th round pick. In round 6, 196, we get linebacker Red Murdoch from Buffalo. Again, more pieces on that defense. And round 7, 231, as I explained, we get quarterback Taylor Green from Arkansas. And that is our contingency plan if both Tua and Michael Penix somehow get injured. Atlanta, ATL, Falcons fans, talk to me. Let me know how you like this draft. Let me know what you would do differently. Let me know if you would go the same positions, but maybe a different player. Sound off in the comment section. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much for stopping by Mose Knows. You're part of the family now. There's nothing you can do about it. Do me a few favors, family. 1, smash the thumbs up on this video. I only had 5 picks. I did what I could, but I feel like I did pretty good. I feel like I did all right, but you can let me know that in the comment section. After you smash that like button, jump over to that subscription button, hit that subscribe button, become an official part of the Mose Knows fam, and then hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops right here at Mose Knows. And then share it. Last thing, I know it's a lot of instructions, but share this video. If you have a friend or a family member that's a Ravens fan, share this video with them, because in the next episode, episode 14, we're going to Baltimore, and we got a lot to talk about when we get to Baltimore. A lot's happening over there. Got a lot to talk about. Share it with a friend that you know is a Baltimore Ravens fan, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.